God save your team. Well, well, well. We can look back at the clips. You can roll them back. I did say, I think I'm pretty sure it's our first TikTok video of the channel. Borthwick is not a good international coach. We're one of the first takes we did on this channel, right? You guys, I said England won't finish above third place. You guys all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now.
I just want to say something, okay? So you
Yeah.
say Borthwick's not a good international coach.
Yes.
Okay, whether he's good or not is very different to how well he does at this Six Nations. I think, and it's shown by Wales and Warren Gatland. I don't think any manager comes in and makes a significant difference in this Six Nations. I genuinely believe no coach in the world
Yeah.
would have made England the top two team in the Six Nations
But
immediately.
any good coach would not have given Marcus Smith, right, or continued with the failed
Oh,
Marcus Smith project. Like, give Farrell's England's
See,
first choice 10 this competition, right?
Tally, this is what I'm struggling with. Okay, when we
Oh,
talk about Danny Cipriani, you say he's wasted talent. He's too much.
yeah.
England coach didn't select him because he's too much of a risk, which is just a bad excuse. Okay, and then you say that England are really bad with their young players, but then at the same time you're saying Smith shouldn't get any game time. It should be all about Farrell.
Yes.
Now, if I look at England, I
doesn't
think
make any sense.
one of the few players that can move England forward in an attacking sense more than anyone else is Smith.
Give me.
Whether he comes off the bench or not, I'm not bothered, but he has to be involved.
Rohan, right? Let's not lie. Farrell is the captain, right? And I'm pretty sure every England fan knows England's worst kept secret. He will be the 10 for the World Cup. Give him more minutes. If you want to let Smith play against Italy, right? England, for me, the biggest thing they should have been working on this tournament is the back three, getting people like Arundel more minutes, and then the centre combination and the pack, right? The pack was abysmal. Yet
Yeah, our
Borthwick,
pack was awful.
yes. Sorry, Jack, you can carry on with the pack.
No, I just want to say that that was probably the worst showing I've seen in a long time of an England pack.
Yeah.
Like, when you're getting to the point where you can't secure your own ruck off a kickoff, and then you have players that keep dropping the ball, and you have players like Ludlam, who's just so.
Dom
I thought he played
Brandt.
well in the first couple of games, but after that, dreadful. And then Dom Brandt needs to England play.
I agree. Don Brandt is a club player, and that's the only thing he's ever going to be good at. I accept that. But at the same time, England literally went toe to toe with Ireland's pack literally yesterday.
Yeah,
and how good were they against that Ireland pack? No, Tally, let me just say something. They went toe to toe against that Ireland pack, who I was considering one of the best packs, bar South Africa or better, and they did phenomenal. They fronted up against an Ireland pack who were more mobile, more physical, and they did so well.
Yeah.
but Dom Brandt wasn't one of the reasons. Dom Brandt was
The thing is,
reason. Kit, if you watch that game, the reason why like Ireland's dominance was limited, especially in the breakdown areas, because England weren't committing and getting more men outside to stop the Irish attack, to stop Sexton's wraparound. I don't really think it had anything to do with Dom Brandt specifically.
I think England got to Sexton. I don't think Sexton was all that yesterday.
Yes, because
we didn't get to Sexton.
mate, I just
we got to Sexton pretty well.
But Kit, like what we're saying with the forward pack now is a bigger issue than for England, for example. The whole thing, Farrell Smith was made into it, like there was this whole media circus around it. Who should be 10? Who should be in the pack was the bigger problem. Farrell should have just started, no question, right?
It's not. It's not who should we bring the pack. It's about who we bring off the bench. It's the problem.
I do agree that there are question marks in the pack.
Yes.
I think the front row is set in stone, and that's what it's going to be for the World Cup.
Front row wasn't the problem; it was the back row. I think.
So then you look at the second row. I think as long as Itoshi's in there,
Kieran, what do you mean? The front row wasn't the problem.
Kieran, no, I don't think
no,
any
Don
of the
Brandt
players
is the problem.
No, I don't think any of the players. Kieran, listen. I don't think any of the players in the back row should start at the World Cup.
Oh, what would you bring up? Oh, Mercer and
Well, are we forgetting about Tom Curry at his best, for example?
Yeah,
Jack Willis literally just went through that Ireland pack yesterday. He had 22 tackles in the minutes he played.
As much as they played well against Ireland yesterday, that was the only good performance.
One-off game. It was a one-off game.
To be fair, one thing I'll give Kieran: if anyone does start, it's Jack Willis. I'm open to Jack Willis starting at the World Cup.
Wait, I just want to say, yeah, they played well yesterday, fair enough, but they still lost the game. So realistically, it doesn't mean that much because they still lost to Ireland when they should have won. The Freddie Stewart error, that's just down to player error. But I still think it's a red card, by the way.
That's not player error. That's referee error. That is.
No, that is not. Tally, that's a red card.
It's just law error.
It's not a red jack. Are you crazy?
Yes,
it's not a red card.
It's
not a red card.
Kira is a
We can talk about this later because we're.
Yeah, the point is, England's pack this Six Nations was atrocious, and it really needs.
Atrocious.
What do you mean? Did you watch them against France?
Kieran, are you being okay?
Everybody,
Can I make a point? Before Jack Willis came, there was no jackal threat for England. England had no jackal threat. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Before Jack Willis came, England had no jackal threat.
Ben Curry.
Right? So when Brohan says none of them should start for the World Cup, he's spot on. You bring in Tom Curry, you bring in Tom Curry for the breakdown and his hitting ability, you bring in Ben O, and then you probably Zach Mercer as well. That's the best.
Zach Mercer, Ben O, and then 7. It's a straight shootout between Jack Willis and Tom Curry.
It's either or. But I think Tom Curry's more diverse though. Like he can bring more. He can bring more to the role than with Jack Willis.
As a 7, your job is to tackle and merely get in the breakdown, right? And obviously full carry. Jack Willis did everything against the best team in the world yesterday, and he was absolutely perfect at his job.
And how many years has Tom Curry been doing it for? And how many years has Tom Curry been doing it for?
Even in the you got to remember what we say about World Cups. Tom Curry was one of our best players last World Cup.
Exactly.
Last World Cup 4 years ago, Rohan. We're talking about now.
It makes a difference because World Cup rugby is very different to Six Nations rugby, Kieran. No one wants to take risks.
And then he came, and then Tom Curry. And then Tom Curry came against a competent South Africa pack, and he went missing in the final.
What is one player? Oh my God, Kieran! What is?
Well, you're talking about one player. You're highlighting Don Brown.
Right, okay, I want to look at players last World Cup like Itoje, Tom Curry, Sam Underhill, but obviously he's had injuries, so he's dropped off a little bit. But mainly players like Itoje and Curry, who put in probably one of the best performances I've ever seen when it mattered against New Zealand. And if you're looking for someone that can emulate that, those are the 2 players that you go for. And exactly. I'm saying that I'm open to Jack Willis starting because we all know what he can do. He's put his hand up. He hasn't put a foot wrong this whole tournament. But the other 2 have got to go. Ludlam, Don Brandt. I don't see what they bring.
That's the problem.
I'm not saying he's the problem, Kieran. I'm saying there are better options that can do more than
Ludlam is part of the problem though. He doesn't offer England anything.
He's part of the problem, but there's an argument for every single player being part of the problem.
Exactly. Kieran, if you must be delusional if you watch this England team, you're an England fan, and you feel proud to watch that back row. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm proud. I'm not saying I'm proud. It was by far one of England's. Yes.
We're talking about one performance. Let's look at the competition as a whole. They were dreadful. They pushed the best pack in the world right now to the limit. You can't argue that, Taddy.
Kieran, they got absolutely demolished by another one of the best packs in the world in France. That England team didn't have a sniff in
every single England player on that team that played against France was abysmal, apart from Stewart. Right, so we can look at every single player and say they're the problem, they're this, they're abysmal, they're crap. But realistically, England pushed the best pack in the world right now to the limit. They didn't get on.
Look at every game in the Six Nations. It's not just one game. There's 5 games to play. The England pack played well in the Ireland game, and that was about it. So if you're saying, they pushed the best pack in the world, which isn't even the best pack in the world, they pushed one of the best packs in the world to a good game. Still didn't even win the game. So it's irrelevant.
And Kier, let's not forget the way Ireland played does play into England's hands a little bit as well.
No, I think England did well to nullify their pack and their full threats. I'm
not saying they didn't. I'm just saying the way Ireland play and the way they go forward ball plays into England's hands. Their attack starts off 9 with their ball carriers just carrying straight into brick walls with their dynamism and their power. But who's one of the best teams in the world at stopping that? It's England.
This is what I was trying to say. The things that lost England this tournament for me were the failed 4-pack, the Smith experiment, and then also the 9. Alex Mitchell, why he didn't start, I'll never know. Why the Van Snorfleet continues to just go there to the ruck, sleeps for about half an hour, then decides to pass the ball. No, just tell me I'm lying. That was also another thing that lost England the Six Nations. His ball speed was just so slow.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of
Bro, Kieran shaking his head.
there's a lot of growing that Van Portfleet can do. Not that he's a bad player. I think he has potential to be one of England's best ever nines.
Mitchell
I
has
genuinely,
more
I
potential.
genuinely believe that. But
Wait,
right now, if I'm starting a nine to win a game, it's Alex Mitchell.
wait. You think Van Portfleet had a potential to be one of England's best ever nines?
Oh,
Yeah.
stop the slander, Paddy. You say nothing
Rohan,
positive in the video. Listen,
Oi,
Jack Van
Taddy,
Portfleet.
Rohan.
for
You'll be
me,
lucky.
for
You'll
me,
be lucky to be better than Ben Youngs. I'm
for
telling
me,
you
he's
now.
already for me, he's already above Ben Youngs. Okay. And I can see him when he's got experience and his decision making at the ruck is better. He can be like on a Matt Dawson level 9, if not
Rohan,
better.
Rohan, with 30 minutes of the breakdown, I think he's got ample time to make a good decision. Like, come on.
You also one thing you got to remember as well, Taddy,
Yeah,
is the service he has from the ruck is
yeah,
probably the worst in the whole tournament. It's worse than Italy's. I'll tell you that much.
yeah.
Be better than Wales is there.
Yeah,
Even,
probably.
even Wales can clear out a ruck most of the time. You know what I mean?
So how do England go forward from this in you guys?
So as I said, I think there's some changes in the back row to be made.
Yeah,
And at this point, the ten conversation doesn't matter. Whoever starts, stick with it.
yeah,
I think Smith needs a role regardless, whether it's off the bench, because of how he can open up the game, much like a McKenzie for New Zealand. And it's just consistency now, finding a consistent team, a consistent way of playing, and also just being able to think on their feet and think for themselves. Because I see England players going in with a closed mindset, doing what they're told to do, but you need to be able to think on your feet and adjust to what the game is.
Do you think Milan should start playing?
yes.
No.
I think Malins was one of the things that obviously I'm going to get slandered, but Malins brought like creativity to the wing. Like, no.
I'm against Nugans now.
The only creativity he brings is staying on the wing for a CrossFit. Doesn't do anything else.
Jack,
I'm not being funny. If you have Slade starting, you've got creativity in the centres, and then whoever it is, Lawrence, Tuolangi, whoever they decide to go with there, they've
Tuolangi
got
wasn't that bad.
No, Tuolangi was good. I liked him, but I still think Lawrence offers more. But it's a tough.
But do you not think I think Lawrence is a good player, but I feel like he's just too inexperienced.
Yeah,
Because
true.
I feel like when they played France, he got completely shut out, and I know that was down to the part.
Jack, that's 0% down to him, honestly.
No, but when he did have the ball, he didn't do
He
anything.
got the
with
ball
it.
3 times and got over the gain line every single time. You know what I
he
mean?
didn't. That's just a lie. He got smashed by Dom for a start. Got absolutely obliterated by him.